Good evening and welcome back to blackdoctor.org. I am your host, Dr. Renee. And in case you have never joined us before, I'm here every Thursday. I'm known as Ask Dr. Renee. You can find me everywhere on the web at Ask Dr. Renee, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of those. Thank you to everyone that's watching us. We're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitch and Twitter. And today, so January, Happy New Year again. January, New Year, New You. I'm sure you've seen that everywhere. Well, I'm bringing my version. So last week we talked to my personal trainer because for those that don't know and haven't watched me for years on blackdoctor.org, I've lost a person. And so we talked to my personal trainer last week. If you know me, know that 3 M's, money, medicine, and music. So today we're talking money because you have to have your money right. And what not a better time to get your money right than the top of the year. So I have brought one of the smartest people I know when it comes to finances to come and talk to us. And I know this because I work very closely with her and I call her the queen of my money team. So she knows her stuff. And hopefully she'll come back soon because she has went off camera. There she is. Okay. So I am so excited to bring Cassandra Cummings. And if you don't know Cassandra, then well, now you will. But she has 100,000 Black women that are all investing money on Facebook in a group. 100,000, and she grew up pretty quickly too. So she has taught me more in the last year than I don't know what I had learned before that. So she's going to help us, and she's also having a 21-day free challenge. Did you hear me say free? Free stock challenge, because if you don't know anything, then you want to click the link that's in the post and go sign up for the free stock challenge. We're on we will ask her to confirm. I think it's day 3 now. It just started on Monday. Day 4. We started Monday. So here I will bring her on. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I am fabulous. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having
me.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes, this is, last year was pretty good. This is going to be even better. So first of all, I want you to tell people how much money have the ladies in the Stocks and Stilettos Society invested? Because that blew me away when I read it. In case the people didn't read the post, because I did put it in there.
Yeah, collectively, we are over 25 million. Yeah, it's been a phenomenal ride. We're in our 6th year. So it's taken us 6 years to get there.
6 years, 100,000 Black women.
Yeah.
So I need everyone, because of course I always forget, please share the broadcast. Who doesn't need to know about money? Because she knows about your retirement accounts, your stock, everything. And we're going to try and run through as much as we can so that everyone can start their new year on the right foot. And she is going to let us know you can start anywhere. You don't have to have a lot to start. So, so let's start out with the stock challenge.
Yeah.
So what are they learning in the stock challenge? And we're on day 4, you said, right?
Yeah. So the stock challenge really is stocks 101. It teaches you basically how to read a ticker symbol, what to look for. A lot of times people say, do your research, do your own research, do your due diligence. And so people are like, what does that look like? What should I be looking for? So we show you how to research stocks. So you can identify whether this is a great place for you to park your money and invest, because the only reason why we're investing is to make money. And so we want to make sure that we're putting our coins in things that are going to return interest and appreciation to us. And so the 3 weeks walks you through that, tells you how to identify dividend paying stocks. It talks a lot about compound interest, which is critical to investing. And so
I'm going to stop you for a second. So explain to people what's a dividend.
So a dividend
is to blow people away.
Yeah, a dividend is sleep coin, essentially, right? So a company has profit and they share it with you just because you're a shareholder. You've decided to invest in their company and they incentivize you by giving you some extra money to go along with being a shareholder.
Yeah. So first of all, I have to tell you guys, she has a summit every year. This will be the 3rd one this year, right? No, the 5th.
At the
annual one, Stocks and Star Summit. in Vegas in October. I attended in 2021. And I have to tell you, there was a young lady that did a workshop on dividends. This girl literally lives off of her dividend income.
Yeah.
So, in case you all missed it, you purchase the stock. And just from the money that you get sent to them, so each one has different times that they pay out. Some pay out monthly, some pay out quarterly, some pay out annual, whatever. So just by the way she has it set up, this girl lives off of that money. You guys, that blew me away. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was Char Reinhardt. She's phenomenal. And I'm so proud of you. Like, you've learned so much.
You're right. I didn't know about, I knew about buying into the stock market before I met Cassandra, but I did not know about dividend income and didn't know it could be like that, because I do get dividends on some of my stocks. But I was like, how does she live off of it? And I think she lives in Chicago.
She's from the south side of Chicago.
See?
You're right.
I was like, and she lives off of it? Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that dividend thing blew me away. Then I think a lot of people have seen recently where they talk about compound interest. Can you explain what compound interest is and give a quick example?
Right. So compound interest is where your money is making money. And so a quick example of that would be sort of like a multiplier effect. So let's just say you have a couple of babies, and then those babies have a couple of babies, and then those kids, everybody's multiplying, right? You want that for your money. And so that's really the compound effect.
Definitely. I keep telling people, you want your money to work for you. And we always would say, and if you've listened to Dave Ramsey, and God bless him, and that's all we're going to say, but he would always say every dollar has a job. Definitely.
You've got to tell your dollars what to do, because if not, they'll go do whatever they want to do.
Right.
So if and if someone posts something today, like if you want to go from poor to middle class, save your money. If you want to go from middle class to upper class, invest your money. And so it really is a game changer to invest.
Definitely. And I'm so excited to see so many Black people investing nowadays and having conversations around it. It just blows my mind, but I'm so excited because it's so necessary. I know that your grandfather put the money under the bed, under the mattress, because mine did too. But that is not where our money is going to multiply, you guys. So we shouldn't do that. And God forbid there be a fire, then the money is gone.
Right, it's going to get eaten by moths.
Exactly. So we really have to invest. Yeah. And people don't, I'm sure people have seen Wall Street Trapper and all these other people. Mm-hmm. They're right. You should invest in the things you use.
Absolutely.
If you wear Nikes, guess who owns Nike stock? Because I wear Nikes every day.
It's a great way for you to get your money back. Just think about you purchasing or utilizing their services. This is an awesome way for you to actually get a return on the money that you're spending with these big retailers or, big service-based companies. We've got to be smart about how we use our money, and investing is a smart way to use your money.
And I love the bank, but you guys, the interest rate that you make in a bank is really pennies to the dollar to how much money you can make if invested properly. If you have questions, please don't forget to post them. Right. I'm telling you, the woman has knowledge, so you might want to, while you can for free, you might want to ask your question. But yeah, right. You should invest in Uber if that's what you use. Lyft, that's what all these things are on the stock market. Yeah. Your pans, the company that makes your pans might be on there. Just think about the little things that you use and go look and see if they're on the stock market and how much it costs. If your phone service is through AT&T, hi, AT&T, they're on the stock market, and AT&T gives very good dividends. I know this because I've investigated this.
Yeah, they are. They're called a dividend king, by the way. So there are some dividend kings. There's some dividend aristocrats. And then you have the dividend champions, contenders, and challengers. And so basically, they're broken up into different categories that tell you how many years they've given out a dividend consecutively And those companies that have not only given out a dividend consecutively, if they've even increased their dividend over a certain period of time. So I talk about that in my upcoming publication. But someone asked, how do we begin to invest? This is awesome. So there are some micro investing apps. If you haven't heard of Acorns or Stash App, these are great apps to get started. But you can always open up a brokerage account with, say, Robinhood or Fidelity or E-Trade and put a little bit of money in there. I always say, start with like $100, $500, and then buy something, right? Because that's really the only way you're going to learn. You're going to learn by doing.
Mm-hmm.
So buy, a share of Starbucks or buy a share of Nike, Apple, right? And then watch it. Watch what it does, maybe over a 30 to 45-day period. And sort of just peep in on your phone and say, okay, it's up today. Look at it tomorrow. Okay, it's down tomorrow. So that way you really get an idea of how the stock market behaves, especially with all the news that's going on about all these different variants going on with the virus. They sway the market. And so you want to see how your stock reacts to this news. And then once you become comfortable, just keep adding money to it. You got to keep just feeding the beast, as I say.
Definitely. And if you watch my show, I did right before Christmas, you guys, I did a whole thing about ways to save and make money. Acorn was one of the ones I talked about. Stash was one of the ones I talked about. And I gave you links where you would get free money for clicking those links. You'll get free money just for starting and clicking the link. So I'm going to find the link because I did a whole blog post so that you could just go to the blog and all the links are sitting there. I'm going to find it. But I knew I wanted to start with something. I showed you guys my Acorn account, and I just in this few weeks of this 2022 have already earned $150.
Wow.
And that's why I keep telling you all, you need to have an Acorn account, because that compound interest is no joke. It multiplies quickly.
Right.
Acorn invests for you. You don't even have to go picking stocks, because if you don't know what you're doing and you don't want to think about it, it's great. No brainer. They just do it for you. What you tell them is, this is the risk level that I'm comfortable with. Are you moderate? Are you conservative? So you tell them that, and then they'll pick your stocks according to that. Also, they invest in ETFs. So explain what an ETF is.
So it's an exchange traded fund, which is basically a basket of stocks. So in your ETF basket, you could have Nike, you could have Apple, you could have Facebook. So it's going to be just a basket of stocks. So if you're not ready, you don't feel comfortable, like, I don't want to put my money in just one company, I want to spread my eggs around, this ETF would be a great way to do that, because it's already a one-stop shop for you.
Exactly. So, and I learned that from her too, because I did not know about that. I knew about mutual funds, but I didn't know about ETFs. And
ETFs are a special type of mutual fund. They work a little differently than mutual funds because they're less expensive, but they have a higher liquidity amount. So if you want to get access to your money much faster, you can. But they're usually a fraction of what a mutual fund company will charge, because they're usually passively managed versus a mutual fund, which is actively managed. So you got to pay an investment manager to move the money around for you.
Okay. So yeah, it's really so she told you about it's like I said, Acorn, Stash, Robinhood. Everyone knows Robinhood was in the news. But Webull is another option that is very much like Robinhood, where you can buy fractional shares. And fractional shares mean, I'm sure everyone knows about Tesla. Tesla is right now, I don't remember, but it might be 600 and something. I haven't looked at it.
No, it's like $1,200.
It's 12. Thank you. $1,200 and a share. But you can buy a fractional share, which means you're just buying a little bit. So you don't pay $1,200. You could buy your fractional share, which you can afford. And you get whatever your little pieces. And you could, obviously, like she said, you could regularly deposit money. So then you're regularly buying, and then you end up getting a large sum and you get one whole one, or one whole share, whatever. But that is also something to look at, is a Webull, which I think that I talked about that one there. Yeah. Webull, I did put on that blog post, is another place that you can buy. You can buy stocks. You can do options on Webull too. But yeah, so that's another option. And your children even can open these accounts too. I don't know the legalities behind it, but you can get an account for them as well, because you need to encourage them. If you're going to stand in line for Jordans, you definitely need to have Nike stock.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great platform if you want to buy stock for.
Oh, and Stockpile.
Stockpile. Yeah. I was like, how is she going to miss Stockpile? But yeah, Stockpile is a great, easy to use platform. And you can buy fractional shares. So if you want to give stock to someone, but you don't want to buy an entire share of Amazon, but you want to get them a sliver of Amazon, you can do that through Stockpile.
Yeah. So Stockpile, Webull, we've given you some great options here. You can go in and deposit, even if it's $50, and
Right.
you can start.
Mhm.
And did we mention these things are on your phone? These are apps on your phone. Everything we just mentioned are apps on your telephone. So right at your fingertips, you could do your transactions.
Right. There's all kind of money. There's $1 million in your phone. It's $1 million in here.
Yes.
You got to get to it. Get to the money.
You got to get to the money. So in the stock challenge, so she explains the ticker. She explains exactly how to read the chart, so you know what you're looking at when you see on Bloomberg and it's rolling across the bottom. You know exactly what they're talking about.
It's called the ticker tape.
Yes. So, and we have our own little ticker here too. But yeah, yes, it's the ticker tape, and she'll explain all of that so you understand. So then you have an understanding of what exactly to do in the stock market. Now, because of her, I was like, forget this stock stuff. It's a long-term thing, you guys. It's not an overnight thing. And unfortunately, a lot of people think that. And of course, she could also go into, we don't need to go into, but capital gains. And if you sell your stock too soon, then you have to pay extra stuff in your taxes. So that's why these stocks are a long-term thing. Long-term. So you're not getting out next week. You're not getting out next year. You're going to stay in it for the long haul. And I know somebody recently posted, I think it was in one of your groups, that said, it was either in Slack or Facebook, they said they were upset because they went to their employer and they found out that they were unable to decide what their money was invested in for their 401k.
Yeah.
So these are conversations that once you understand what's going on, you could go to HR and have this conversation and say, hey, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, you can campaign to have them put a particular provider in there, because I know a lot of employees have done that to get Vanguard listed as an option. So, it's your money. So you definitely have to advocate for where you want your money to go, even if it's in your employer plan. But I do want to just kind of piggyback off of what you said about stocks being long-term. It is a long game. But I think you have to have multiple strategies, right? Just like you have to have multiple streams of income, you've got to have multiple strategies. So you park this money over here for long-term, for when you don't want to work anymore or can't work anymore. And then you have a short-term focus where you can actually print money out of the stock market.
That's my favorite line, you guys. That's what she sold me on. When she said that you can print money out of the stock market, I ran and told my sister. She said we could print money out of the stock market. I don't care if it don't have my face on it. I just need it to be printing.
Right.
And so once I knew that, I was like, well, we got to figure that out, because I already had the long-term thing going. We did I was nonprofit, so 403B, and my sister 401k and all this stuff. We need to know how to print money. Now, I will really quickly, Irene, I want to tell you the great thing about Acorn is that Acorn, you attach it to your debit cards, and any purchases you make, it rolls up and invests to the nearest dollar. And so you don't even know that you're investing this money. and it's gone and you don't even know it's gone. And then you'll check back a month or so later and you have all this money because not only did they save it, they also invested it once they saved it for you. So that's why Acorn is amazing to me.
Yeah, I call it forced savings. It really forces you to save because as you're swiping, that money is being put to the side for you. So you don't even have to think about it.
Right.
Because if you have to think about it, more than likely you're not going to do it.
Exactly. And, you know, people hate the word budget. I get that. But even if you don't have a budget, if you do Acorn, at least when you make purchases, and I'm talking about your gas, your light bill, whatever you charge, it doesn't matter if you hand someone your card or you type it in on Amazon, you are going to save money. And so that's why I love Acorn because, you know, not everyone wants to sit and do coupons and all this stuff. But you're going to have to spend the money anyway. You're going to give someone the card number anyway. You might as well save money and make money at the same time. So that's why I love Acorn. And so if you go to that link that I posted, you will see a link for Acorn. And I think they'll give you $20 for signing up or something. But now the printing money. So this is the fun one. So I literally was in Robinhood and kept seeing that they said I was eligible to trade options. I didn't know what an option was. So, of course, I went to my friend Google and looked it up. And I, of course, found a YouTube video and I watched it. And that thing said you had to buy 100 shares. I said, I can afford 100 shares. I was like, who's buying 100 shares? Not I. So I was like, well, that's the end of that. I mean, it was a real quick thing. I was like, huh? Oh, okay, never mind.
And she's singing a different song now.
Right. Now I'm a whole different person. But I literally did that. And I promise you, it wasn't a week later that Cassandra started talking about options. And I was like, wait a minute. And when she was like, well, I have this options course. And I said, oh, I'm signing up. As soon as she says we can sign up, here's the Acorns link, you guys. As soon as she says we can sign up, my name is going to be on the first roll because I know I need this course. So first of all, tell people what is an option.
Well, an option is a contract and it gives you the right, not the obligation, to buy those 100 shares or sell them that Dr. Renee just mentioned. So yeah, it's a contract that you enter into and you can set the price and you can set the amount of time you want to hold the contract.
Yeah. So, yes, somebody asked, is Acorn in the link? Yes. And I just posted in the comments. So options are really, really great because we just told you Tesla is $1,200 a share.
Yes.
So
Tesla,
I'll tell you, last year, January, Tesla was my best friend. And I literally bought and sold Tesla contracts for like the first 2 weeks of the year and was just making money on money.
Like cash.
She said you can print money. She was not lying. I literally was standing in front of my sister and was like, I mean, I think I paid $45 for a contract one time, and I literally stood there and watched it shoot up 600%.
Yeah.
And was like, oh my God, let me get out. So that is what we're talking about by printing money. And also she calls it now money because this is money that you can use today. Because it goes into your account and it's there, it's available. You sold it, it's yours. That money is yours now. So this is money that you could pay your rent with every month. Oh, look who has signed on.
I see. We got Rhonda and Ashley.
So Ashley, Tesla is her sugar daddy.
Yes.
And as long as she tells me Tesla's acting right, then I'm listening. Because she and Tesla, her and Elon must be friends because she knows, okay? No insider trading, but she knows something. So that's what we're talking about now money and printing money because you can literally buy, and that's the greatest thing. Did you hear me say $45? The option contracts don't have to be expensive.
Right, because you're not buying the shares, you're actually renting them, right? So you're renting these shares and you're making money off the rental income, the potential from having these contracts. So it's a great concept, especially if you don't have a lot of money to get, 100 shares of Tesla, right? That would cost you $120,000 to buy 100 shares. And so you can get in for 45, $50 and you can make, a quick couple $1,000s, if not more, off of that investment. So it's an awesome, awesome way. And it's, unfortunately, it's something that we're just now learning about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So taxes on options. There's taxes on everything. We're Americans.
Yeah, I always say, wait till you have a tax problem and then ask.
Right.
You don't want the taxes to drive your decision on if you want to make money or not.
Yeah, don't do that. Not the depending on whatever platform you use, that platform will send you. I forgot the name of the form. What's the name of the form that comes? Is it K something? What is the form that they send us?
10K. I mean, not a 10K, a Schedule K.
Schedule K. See, I knew that.
K1.
So they'll send you. Look, I was close.
K1.
Yes. Yeah. So they'll send it to you at the beginning of the year. Like, I haven't gotten anything yet from TD, but they'll send it to you, and then you give that to your tax preparer, or if you do them yourself, God bless you that you do. But that's how you handle it. But honestly, if you start really doing this, and you want to make sure you get somebody that knows what they're doing, because there is a certain way to handle things. Tesla closed at 10/31/56 today. Like we said, Tesla is not cheap. It's not cheap, but you can get a Tesla contract for $40, $50 and literally, I'm not joking, make 1,000% in a day or two.
Yeah, it has huge swings. So that's the good thing about trading options, is that you need these stocks to be volatile. You need them to have these huge swings, because that's how you're going to make money. You're not going to make money off of stocks being stagnant. It's just not going to pay you.
And then the other thing is, and this is the other thing that sold me, we make money if the stock goes up or if it goes down.
Either way.
So when you buy stocks long term, you do realize if they go down, you're losing value. And there's nothing you can do but sit and pray that they go back up. But with options, we can make money on if it goes up or if it goes down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was the other selling point for me. And I was like, okay, this is something that I need to look into.
Hold on. I did not learn this in school.
Right. Didn't learn it in school and was like, wait a minute. People are doing this and no one told me?
It's a secret society.
I tell you.
Yes.
So thanks to Cassandra and her lovely director. What is she? The director of the option of Build-A-Bag, right?
It's a director of operations and instruction.
Yes.
Instruction and operations. She's got a fancy title.
Yes. So thanks to them who, Ashley was in my Build-A-Bag class and the girl was killing it. And I saw big things for her, and she's still killing it. But you guys, nowhere else are you going to get this information. One, Cassandra doesn't charge a whole lot for it, because options class, you do have to pay for the class. We are, though. We are. She is having a lovely challenge with options as well. It's a 5-day challenge that Ashley is going to be doing. First time ever.
Yeah.
This will kind of tip your toe in the water so you can kind of get a feel for it and, find out, is this for you if it's not for you. So the link for that is in the post as well. So the link to the stock challenge, which is on day 4, is in the post. And then Options Bay starts when? The 24th?
Options Bay, our free 5-day challenge. The 5 things you need to know before you trade options. That's going to start on January 24th.
Perfect.
So we're getting excited. Yeah. It's our first ever.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I signed up, you guys. I'm excited. Here's the flyer for Options Bay. Yeah, I was excited. I was like, I'm signing up. I'm encouraging people that know options to sign. I was like, you should sign up. Check this out. And I have some friends who think they know how to trade options who need to take Build-A-Bag. I said, so here, take this, and then you should sign up.
Why are you putting your friends on blast? They know who they are.
They do. I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but they do. Now, the other thing I will tell you guys with options is that there are long-term options too called leaps, which are a long-term investment strategy as well. And you can purchase, and those options aren't so cheap though. Those can be $300, $400, or thousands of dollars. Right. And you purchase them and you hold them for a year, 2 or 3. I have one leap right now that doesn't expire till next year, and I bought it in 2020. Mm-hmm. So they have longer time for them to grow. Oh, Charmaine said, where can I find this? If you look in the post, right here where you're at, I have all the links right there. Also, send me a DM. I'm more than happy to help you. The links, the options are Bay is in the post too. Let me get I'll try and type it here in the comments in a second. But my executive producer is busy right now. Trying to feed our family.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys, Cassandra is the only person I know that came out here in the internet webs to educate Black women. And of course, she does not discriminate. Men are more than welcome as well.
Yeah, we teach men too.
Yes. And she breaks it down to such a level that you can't help but understand. Because a lot of people are like, well, Renee, you're a doctor. I go, exactly. I am a medical doctor. I know medicine. I do know some science, clearly, chemistry, but finances was nothing. I didn't take anyone's finance class in college or, and they didn't teach me in high school. So this was some new information. I had bought Trading on the Stock Market for Dummies or something like that. I think maybe when I was in med school or something, but I knew nothing. And when I tell you, she breaks it down so easily that I was like, oh, that's it? That's all? Oh, okay. To the point that I literally, and she knows, I was like, well, I just went through the scanner and I found this stock. And somebody actually questioned me, was like, well, what does that company do? I said, I don't care. They're going to make me some money.
They're going to make me
and
some
it worked.
Money.
It worked. They were like, you made money? Yes. And I remember our first live trade in Build-A-Bag. It was Snapchat. And you had announced it and I missed it. So when you
Ashley got that one.
Oh, Ashley, yeah. You announced it. I missed it. And I was like, shoot. Because by the time I went in, it was a different price. So I was like, ah.
And you missed the big Tesla one we did too that time.
Probably. So what I did was, you guys, I sat there and found me a strike price that I could afford and went and bought it. And I still made money. So then that's when I knew, I confirmed that I actually had learned something. I was like,
okay, you telling them too much.
I know. But you guys, let me tell you, you got to sign up. It's free $99 for you to get the information, figure out if this is for you. But I'm telling you, you need to have a long-term and short-term plans when it comes to your money. Mm-hmm. You have to. There is a cost for the classes, of course, but these challenges are free. And the challenges will give you an introduction. You can figure out, is this something that I should do or something I shouldn't do? But I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Best decision I made, because this is a skill that I will have for the rest of my life.
Forever.
2, as Cassandra always says, the stock market is not going to close. A whole lot of things will shut down, you guys.
Yeah.
But you notice during COVID, the stock market's still
every day. They put those little breakers on there when it gets hot. They shut it down for about 15 minutes, let it cool off, and then they fire that thing right back up again.
Yep. So I'm telling you, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. If you're not gonna do this, you gotta figure out something else. But new year, new you. Got to do it. Now, please quickly talk about retirement accounts, because I know a lot of people work for companies, and I was shocked at my last job when I found out half of the people in my department, it was only like 8 of us in the department, were not contributing to the 403B. And I go, but the company matches.
Wow. Yeah, so you have 403Bs and 457s. Those are usually ones that are tied to nonprofits, universities, hospitals. They will have 403B plans. And then you have those in the private sector. Those in the private sector are provided a 401k. And if you work for the government or any type of municipality, like city, county, things like that, you have a TSP typically. And so these are all different ways in which you can save money on a pre-tax basis. So you can lower your taxable income that way. And these different numbers, all this number stuff, mumble jumble, I like to call it, 401k, 403b, these are basically Irs tax codes. And so these are great way for you to save money on a pre-tax basis, lower your taxable income while you're saving for retirement. And so definitely want to take advantage of the employer match. Just know that that's money they owe you. So if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving money on the table.
And you never want to leave money on the table. Please don't leave money on the table.
We work so hard for our money. We don't want to leave that on the table.
Yeah. And then you guys later on, if you will continue on Cassandra's lovely courses, you could learn about how you could actually purchase real estate with your 401k. There's all these amazing things you can do.
Not just your 401k, but you can purchase real estate in your Roth IRA, and all of the capital appreciation will be tax free.
Oh, could you talk about the IRAs, please?
Okay, so the individual retirement account, which is what the IRA stands for, there's a few different ones. So you have a traditional IRA, which you can contribute to, and depending on your income level, you can get a tax deduction every year. And then if you have a Roth IRA, that's an after-tax account. So if you put money in there, the money has already been taxed. Uncle Sam already got his cut. So when you put that money in there and it starts to grow for you, all the growth, all the interest, all the earnings will be tax-free when you get ready to take it out. And then we have something that's called a rollover IRA. So say you go from job to job and you've got to find a place to park your money. The rollover IRA is great because you always want to take your money with you. So when you leave, you can just pop it in that rollover IRA and it can keep saving, keep the investing, working on the money in there. So great ways for you to save for your retirement.
And if you're self-employed, you can still have an IRA too.
Yes, you can have a SEP IRA, which is a simplified employee pension. And it's basically you set up your own retirement if you work for yourself. So a lot of real estate agents, a lot of influencers, a lot of people that have their own businesses will have a SEP IRA. And you usually get some sort of deduction for contributing to your own retirement. So it's only a win-win situation.
Yeah. So you guys, that in a nutshell, that helps you to get it all together. You know, if you need to go to make an appointment with HR tomorrow, go talk to them because it's January. So if you haven't been contributing up until now, what better day to start than January 14th, 2022 to make sure you start contributing to your 401k or 403b or whatever your retirement account is at your job. And read the fine print and make certain if you find out if the company matches, because you have to elect into these things. They don't usually automatically do that for you. You have to tell them, I would like the company match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was so blown away because I was the newbie at my job. So I was like, you all been here for years. You never noticed that they match. Right. They were like, we didn't know, Renee. Thank you for telling us. You got to pay attention.
Be surprised. And people want to say, oh, I need that money now. I don't want to put it away. But you're really hurting yourself on the back end because it's going to come a point, right, when you can't work anymore. And so you've got to be able to take care of your older self while you're younger and can work now. So. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that I like how Acorn has a little graph and they'll show you how much your money will be and how many years and stuff. So it's a really, I love that app. That I've been using it for years and it's just a wonderful way to save. And even if you just save, like Cassandra was like, okay, get that money and then put it somewhere else. I was like, okay, so we can do that. Yeah. So I save up a lump, and then I drop that lump in, maybe a different brokerage account. So, and then, then once you get really into things, you can trade options in your Roth IRA and SEP IRA and stuff. And so there's all these ways to keep your money multiplying. Have you not noticed? The theme of the day is let your money work harder than you do.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're so used to breaking our backs and hustling for these dollars. We've got to make these dollars start to hustle and work for us. So I really, really appreciate you, sharing this information because it's not common knowledge. Like these time value of money calculators, they're free to use. Jump on there and say, okay, if I'm saving $500 a month and I invested at this rate, how much is going to grow in the next 10 years? It takes you no time to run those calculations, and they're free.
And you guys, we need to start talking to our children about these things, because as we've mentioned, they're not teaching us this in school. So they're not teaching it to your children either. Unless you go to, there is a fabulous school in Chicago, and it is, what's the name of, oh God, it's just left me, John Rogers and Melody Hobson, Ariel Capital Management. They have the Ariel School, and those kids come in kindergarten and they give them some money and teach them about investing. And when they graduate, they get to take the money with them. That is the, I mean, I'm sure there's other schools like that, other places, but that is the one place I know in Chicago. And I'm very, I'm just so excited that they do that, because it is on the South Side. So they are catering to Black students. And so these are Black kids that will know. And I actually mentored one of the high schoolers, a high school senior from there. And he was telling me, and I was just blown away. Look, he knew more than I did. But he was, he did. And he was
There's
just
some
telling
smart
me.
kids out there telling
Yeah.
you they're on it, you know.
So
And
you
that's
gotta,
really
you
what-
start them young, you guys. Start them young. Start them young. You know, some people are foregoing Christmas presents and giving, you know, stock options, and I mean, giving, you know, shares in Roblox. And I made money on Roblox a couple weeks ago. You know, teach them young. Teach them young. So somebody asked, Cassandra, do you have, well, not somebody, my dear friend Eva asked, Cassandra, do you have classes for kids?
You know, the teenagers have taken the 21-day challenge and they've done well. So depends on how young or how old.
Eva has a fabulous daughter with her own brand, who has been right here on Black Doctor, Lemonardy, Eden Wilson.
Congrats.
And Eden would be great with the stock challenge, and she should sign up. Send her my link. She should sign up. And actually all your children, Dave would too, and they would all be very, yes, they would love it. And it'll be very informative for them. Yeah. Charmaine, the school is the Ariel School, and it's on Greenwood and 47th. But yeah, it's so important that we start them young. Start these conversations now. There's no reason that your child should go to college if they are in kindergarten now and not have shares in whatever is on their feet and whatever is on their back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because all these companies are on the stock market.
Yeah.
I think to teach them the importance.
Yeah. And the best way to do that is open a custodial account for them. And even if you know, how they get the birthday money and they get the Christmas money and all that, you can put that away in there. So I always tell my parents, you know, you want to have a minor savings account so that you can use that money for little, you know, whatnots if they have a little extracurricular activity. And then you want to have their own investment account. And that's the money that you're going to use for them when they graduate from high school, or if they take a big trip. You know, sometimes the 8th graders will take a trip to DC. The high school kids will take a trip to Europe. You can start to save and accumulate that money in that custodial account for when that time comes.
Yeah, that is definitely a good idea. And, you know, I'm back in the day, and actually I know still some people give savings bonds.
Yeah.
Don't give the savings bond. Look, give them a gift card to Stockpile. I mean,
yes.
Seriously, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
But you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
So some parents, this is their first time ever hearing of Stockpile. So it's time to become more informed so that we can do better, right? Because when you know better, you do better. Yeah. And so that's why it's important for people like myself, Dr. Renee, to have these platforms to let our people know how to actually let their money work harder for them.
So somebody said, what are your thoughts on penny stocks?
You know, penny stocks are like lottery tickets. I always equate them to those scratch offs, you know. It's a waste of money. You don't want to tie your money up with penny stocks. You know, take that money and put it over in Apple, where, you know, it's going to grow. You're going to get a dividend. You don't want to take those chances with penny
when you
stocks.
say lottery, somebody's going to win the lottery. Let's be honest. So there is.
But you know what your chances? You know what your chances are.
Listen, what I'm saying though, there are some penny stocks that do all of a sudden end up being something much bigger. I forgot there was one recently I read about, but it's such a crapshoot, and it's such a,
Right.
you know,
It's like searching for a needle in a
in a haystack.
haystack.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that with your money. You don't have that kind of time. Okay, if you want to do penny stocks, a couple $100 or something. But that can't be your long-term strategy.
Right.
It just
Right.
can't be.
You said more than I would, a couple hundred.
Right.
But yeah, so somebody agrees with me. When you know better, you do better. And they said, thank you for this information. Yeah, it's her thoughts on crypto.
Crypto. I like crypto. Crypto is going to be the new wave of the future. With NFTs, the metaverse, they're really pushing people to use crypto to make some of these purchases. They've got digital real estate. Crypto is really hot right now. And so if you're not into crypto, at least a percentage of your overall portfolio should be allocated to crypto. And there's so many coins. And so
there's not just Bitcoin, you guys. There's so many.
You've got to really kind of have your ear to the ground on which coins are hot, which is why I like communities like the Stocks and Stilettos Society, shameless plug there. But everyone's sharing what coins are, what coins you need to get into. And so from that, people have made a lot of money in my group just because we're open to sharing that information.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had the crypto queen, Tanika, who Tanika has spoken at a couple of Cassandra's events.
Yeah, she's gonna do some stuff this year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she knows her crypto. Okay.
Yes.
She knows a lot of other things too, but she really knows her crypto. And
definitely.
Yeah, she is on top of it when it comes to that. There are, like someone said, there's a million coins. It's not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's so many. And, Bitcoin is very expensive, but there's others that are cheaper, but are doing very well. So you should definitely, if you can, investigate.
I think also too, not to cut you off, but to let people know, like crypto is also not a get rich quick investment strategy. Look how long it took Bitcoin to get to 60,000, 48,000. It took Bitcoin years. And so you've got to be able to kind of sit these coins off to the side and let them marinate, let them season themselves so that you can have that big payoff. And that's really what happened for the people that bought Bitcoin when it was $100 or $200. They waited. The stock market, any type of investment strategy will reward you for patience. In my research, I just researched something about how long it took for Warren Buffett to get to $1 billion. He didn't become a billionaire until he was after 60. And then from 60 to 85, his portfolio jumped drastically because he had more money that could go higher. So you really have to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah. So you guys, please, 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 if you're a Black female, you really should join Stocks and Stilettos. It's a Facebook group. It's free to join.
Come on.
And get the great information. She has the free stock challenge that's going on right now. It just started on Monday. Today's Thursday. You ain't missed that much yet. Jump in now. It's 3 weeks, so jump in now. And then Options Are Bay. That challenge will start January 24th. It's a 5-day challenge, so sign up now so you're not late. You don't miss anything. And then after that, we'll come back and we'll talk to you about Build-A-Bag, and you'll be like, what? And you'll be blown away. But when I tell you. Oh, and then she has other courses. Stocks and Stilettos they have a crypto course. There's a cannabis course too, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just did a blowout bundle sale at the beginning of the year. I gave away all my courses for like $21. There was a course on REITs. There's a course on marijuana.
Yeah. That's another thing.
She created $1 million
in real estate without buying actual real estate by purchasing in the stock market. People don't know this.
There you go. No credit check. No credit check.
Yes. So Charmaine, yes, Stocks and Stilettos. That is correct. And it is a group, not the page. There is a page too, but you want to join the group.
The link is bit.ly Stocks and Stilettos.
Here I go. 1 second.
For the group.
bit.ly/ all lowercase?
Yeah.
Or capital S's?
No, all lowercase.
Okay. Stocks and Stilettos. It's 1 T. It's 1 L, right?
1 L, 2 T's.
Yep. Okay, there's the link. to Stocks and Stilettos. But yes, come on over, and you won't know what you don't know until you start reading some of these posts. Like, what are they talking about?
Right. Hey,
But,
I learn something new every day. It's,
right.
Everyone's so awesome in there. They just love sharing information. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask. No question is a stupid question. If you don't know, you should ask, because you can cost yourself money by not asking. So you might as well ask the question. And before we leave, I have to tell you, the reason why we don't know about this is because we are Black, you guys. The white boy's been doing this a long time. A long time. If anybody saw Trading Places, that they were on the floor trading.
Yeah, they were trading
commodities. What we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. So, you guys, we need to make sure that the generations to come can flood these places and be on Wall Street and stuff, because we need to know that. We need them to know this information. Someone said, bring that bundle back.
Yeah, I was going to do all new courses. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. It may not come back to the
Oh, and this is a gentleman. She has a male group. Do you have a link for that one?
Well, actually, Jay's going to take over my men's group.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's MVP Moneymakers. It's nothing in there. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, men aren't as talkative as women. I don't know. But thank you guys for joining me. And next week, like I said, this month is New Year, New You. So next week, we will be talking more about losing weight and getting healthy. And I will see you next week, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Central. Please, let me see you in the challenges. I'm in both of them. So let me see you in the challenges. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. I'm at Ask Dr. Renee on everything. Cassandra's Instagram is Stocks and Stilettos. So you can go over there at Stocks and Stilettos and see all her, they post pretty regularly and keep you updated on what's going on. So Stocks and Stilettos. And of course, like we said, the Stocks and Stilettos Society is a group on Facebook of fabulous women. You do have to answer the questions to get in. So just answer the questions and be patient and you'll get in. And thank you. Have a good night.